'Twas the podcast before Christmas, when all through the house the listeners were waiting for their favourite podcast.
Their schedules were hung with very little care, in the hopes both Downs would be there.
The 18 to 35-year-old audience was nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of Dan's sugar plums danced in their heads.
What a long year full of wonder and fun. Nah, just kidding. This year kinda stunk.
But luckily the two best boys were going to have a chatter about all the things that didn't matter.
Away to all podcast apps, did the audience fly, to the end of the year, with some dumb guys.
Giving opinions on too much stuff they did not know, all the time just giving it a go.
When what to the audience wondering is did appear, but an episode filled with Christmas cheer.
With two hosts, one with a small and one with a big, the audience knew this episode would be sick.
More bad jokes and opinions did came, whilst they shouted out brands by name.
To Marvel, to DC, to Sony, to Xbox, to Apple, to Android, to Netflix, to Disney.
To the top of the window, to the top of the wall, now the sweat drips down our balls.
So up to the top of the charts they flew, with the pockets full of toys and St. Nicholas too.
Because surprise, this was a heist! We've stolen it all. Isn't that the truth? Now get on your knees before we break your tooth.
As the audience spun its head around, we showed them St. Nicholas tied up and bound.
He was bloodied and beaten from head to his foot, with the blood mixed in with the ashes and soot.
As bundles of toys were flung over the two podcast boys' backs, as they pointed a gun into St. Nicholas's ballsack.
His eyes, how they bulged, his nose broken, his cheeks were like roses, he could barely stay awoken.
But old St. Nicholas would rather be here than stuck watching a Alita Battle Angel all year.
Hey, don't bring that movie up, the two boys exclaimed. It brings back memories of the night you left the DVD unclaimed.
Neither of us wanted it. We would rather be dead, in a wink of an eye and a twist of his head.
The beaten and broken old man started to shout, I can end that awful movie's existence. It'll be over and out.
The two boys looked at each other with glee in their eye. Was St. Nicholas onto something or just being sly?
It's a Christmas miracle, the boys did decree. An end to the torment of the man named Santee.
Unshackled and pulled up to his feet was the man most people wanted to meet.
He started his spell, the wind did whistle. A swirling vortex of magic, the boys looked holding a missile.
Don't fuck with us, old man, or we shall return, holding Christmas hostage till it's in an urn.
With a bang and a pop, the magic finally stopped. The boys looked around. On their knees, they dropped.
It's finally over. That movie is gone. We can finally watch the best Christmas movie, Red One.
As the year comes to an end and the world keeps on rolling, thank you for listening to us trolling.
And one final message as we disappear from sight and sound. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Well, that's Christmas
Yay!
done. Thank you.
What an intro, everyone.
That's a
what
good
an intro.
Danny's finally done a good intro. And for those who do not know, this intro has taken us so fucking long to do.
Oh yeah, I started this initially going, oh yeah, it'll be quick and easy to make a Christmas-themed intro. And oh my god, did it take way too long. Because I actually put effort into it, or tried to put effort into it.
I'm also really hoping that I can kind of solve that in edit, because most people are not, hopefully, aren't going to know that there's a few fumbles in there.
Oh yeah, but that's the Christmas magic happening.
I apologise if I was not able to sync up that last line. I tried my hardest.
We can always record it. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to the podcast, Totally Broken Opinions. Today's episode is our Christmas finale. It's like our last Christmas episode, probably. Because as we are coming up to episode 299, which is this episode, and episode 300, which is our end-of-year wrap-up, we are having a change of format next year. So you'll hear about that in the next episode. But it is our Christmas episode, so we're just going to talk about Christmas. What we like, what we don't like, what things we want to do, what movies we liked, just basically Christmas stuff.
Yeah, so we've not actually got anything too
solid
for this. Like, this is kind of going to be just us kind of in a bit of a chat and kind of hopefully
spinning our wheels.
Possibly maybe the new format might work. Something similar to this. So let us know if you like this format.
Yeah, it's just us spinning our wheels a bit more without really any formula, I guess.
Yeah. Well, most people probably don't know that we kind of do this chats anyway, kind of before and after the podcast.
Yeah. And so we just thought, why not just bring it into the podcast a bit more? But yeah, so we're just going to be talking about Christmas. Like, what's our favorite things? Like, do we like Christmas decorations? Do we think Christmas should be start so early? Like, right after November? Because I want to talk about that.
Go on, let's start with it. Let's start with the beginning of Christmas.
When do you think an appropriate amount of time after Halloween, Christmas decorations or Christmas stuff should appear?
I think it's fine to start thinking about Christmas after Halloween. But I would say Christmas decorations should probably be up 1st of December. That's what I would say.
Yes, I agree. I think anyone who puts Christmas decorations up before December 1st is a psychopath, and I hate them, and I think they should die.
Yeah, I think... Well, to be fair, I did do that this year. I think I put them up
You deserve to die. I'm sorry.
Okay, but in my defense, I was away for like the first... or the last week of November and like the first little bit of December, and
then you suck it up and only have it in a bit of December.
It's also good because my partner has a baking business and she basically didn't have time, so throughout all December she'd been very busy, so kind of mid-November was sort of our last weekend that we had a chance to do something, so that's kind of why we did it. But personally, yeah, I would have probably put up first weekend of December normally.
Fair. I just don't put Christmas decorations up. I have 2 Christmas decorations. One I bought this year and one I've had for a while. One is a gingerbread man plush toy that is just cute. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll have that. And then I bought recently a potted plant thing that's a dinosaur but with a Christmas hat on it, and it looks derpy as fuck. And I'm like,
that sounds really cute.
Yeah, I don't buy Christmas presents. Like, Homebase is shutting down, and I was going to go to Homebase and buy a bunch of like discounted Christmas stuff. And I just went, nah, I can't be asked. I don't have space in my house for a tree or any. I don't like decorate. I'm just going to have to take it all down. And it's just me in the house. Like, I'm single. You've got a partner. You're like, oh, yeah, you can spread the cheer. I'm like, oh, I'm fucking lonely and sad. I'm not going to fucking I'm not going to put effort into this. If I ever get a girlfriend, then maybe. But fuck me. Not now. Too much effort. I don't give a shit about Christmas enough to actually put up stuff.
So, believe it or not, I've actually got probably much more Halloween decorations than I do Christmas. By a considerable...
I have no Halloween decorations.
I have 4 times the amount of Halloween than I do Christmas, which is... I think more...
I don't know. I think I like the look of Halloween stuff more, but I'm also like, I like Christmas stuff if it's good. Like, I think there's a vast difference on the quality of Christmas stuff. Because I feel like a lot of traditional stuff, I'm like, I don't really like it. Like, I don't like the manger. I'm not the religious aspect of it. I feel like I'm like, oh, I don't give a shit about like having a manger or all of the holy symbol stuff, and I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'd rather have a more modern aesthetic. Whereas Halloween, I think you can just do anything.
What I find for Christmas is mainly full of stress. I mean, think about how much you got to do. You got to go around buying presents that everyone's gonna like. And for me, I don't know. I want to make sure I get everything right. And then you got to do all Christmas dinner prep as well. And then there's Boxing Day. You got all the Christmas dinner parties. There's like a lot of things going on. It's not like a relaxing time of the year. For Halloween, it's fairly stress free. It's like one day you put up some decorations and then you can like just chill. You know, like it's kind of fun.
Except for the stress of all those children coming up and knocking on your door, but you don't have Christmas decorations. So you're like, oh, fuck, go away. Go away. Turn off the lights. Never look at them.
Your social anxiety just goes through the roof. Well,
yeah, well, I don't give a shit. I think the UK is kind of good because I think we have like kind of an understanding that if you don't have like Halloween decorations, kids won't come to your door.
I think Halloween in the UK has got a lot better over the last recent years. I don't think when we were growing up, it was particularly that big.
Where I lived, it was all right. Like I think it was always fun though because when parents didn't do Halloween decorations, they always gave money. It's just like, oh shit, we don't have candies, and it's just like, oh shit, we're gonna disappoint a child. So
I have a fiver. Like, oh okay.
Like I always just targeted those houses because I was like, oh yeah, they don't have Christmas decorations. Let's go there because they'll just give me money or they'll just go, oh I'm sorry, and then just go and get something from their pantry or like kitchen and just give it.
Where I grew up, no one did Halloween decorations. The most anyone would do is put a pumpkin out. And then that would be the sign of, oh, you can go to their house, get a candy or something. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I noticed a lot more now, kind of even in the area I grew up, there a lot more people doing Halloween decorations. I guess it's just become a lot more capitalism, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's if you have kids. I feel like, because where I live, there's a bunch of... It's basically to get people with families, like, living where I am. And so there's loads of kids in the area. And so, like, when Halloween kicked around, like, the streets were flooded with children And so I feel like that's why people decorate their houses, is because it brings the magic to kids. Whereas I'm a 26-year-old like single guy. I don't have any Christmas magic.
If you do, it's a bit nonsense. We'll be honest.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't do it. Clearly, but yeah, I don't really have that desire to like bring the Christmas magic to other people, because I'm like, whatever. So yeah, I'm just like, but yeah, I think there's loads of people down where I live where they've got Christmas decorations up and everything like that. And I'm like, there's an excessive amount of Christmas decorations that people put up sometimes. Like, there's a person who lives near me with like a fence, and they just coated that entire fence with just everything that you could imagine for Christmas, like candy canes, like snowmen, all of that. And I'm just like, it looks like a mess. But it just feels like they went to a store and just bought all of the Christmas decorations and then just slapped it on their fence and then around their house and in their garden and all of that. And I'm just like, the excess isn't always necessary. They did it with Halloween as well.
Yeah,
and whatever.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of things posted online talk about excess, and I want to talk about sort of budgeting for gifts, because I've seen both extremes. So some people who say they refuse to spend more than 20 quid on a person, and I've seen some people who spent like over $1,000 on gifts and like are now in debt. And I don't understand why you would do that. Like, why are you putting yourself into so much financial debt just for Christmas?
So for me, my way of budgeting for gifts is basically, if I see a gift, I'll buy it if I think that's what the person would like, or I ask the person what they would like for Christmas. Because I just basically get a budget and I just go, what would you like? Give me a budget and I'll buy whatever you want within that budget.
So I've actually I've discovered an app. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really useful in the sense that you can put whatever presents you want on your list, and then you can give it to your friends and family. And then if they buy it for you, they can tick it off the list, but you can't see it. But then no one else can do it to duplicate. So you get what you want, but you don't know what you're getting. So I think it's like
I'm sure there's loads of like probably things like that, I imagine. I don't know. I feel like I just, because I normally just have an agreement with people that it's like, only buy something for me if you know I want it, or just don't buy me anything and just give me cash. I'm very difficult to buy for. I think my parents hate me because they always want to give me a physical gift, and I'm just like, no, just give me cash. Because what happens is, most of the time I ask for a gift, they'll go and buy the alternate version of that gift.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like, I originally, when I was first getting into console gaming, I wanted an Xbox 360. Which, hey, look, surprising, ain't it? Because
look at this man, I want an Xbox, what the fuck?
But guess what my dad bought me instead? It was a PS3. Yeah. So that was the start of my like, oh shit, yeah, no. I was a bit upset when I actually originally got the PS3. Because I was like, I wanted an Xbox. And then I was like, no, actually, this is great.
Wasn't the PS3 more money?
This was in the initial release. This was the PS3 slimish version, but not the slim. This was like the redesign of it when it wasn't like £600 or whatever it was. Like initially, it was like a few years after the initial launch. I think it was, how old was I? I think I was 12 when I got it, so I think it would have been a couple years after. But it actually worked out well because all my friends had gotten PlayStation, so if I hadn't have gotten a PlayStation and I'd gone for the Xbox, then I don't think a lot of my other friends would have gone for PlayStation as well. And so it kept me in contact with a few people as well after I left like primary school and things like that. So, but yeah, and then there's other instances where I just get the wrong thing, and it's like, there was a reason why I wanted this present. Because it's like, I wanted it for a specific use case, and this now doesn't fit into that use case. Whereas like, I wanted like this shelving unit because it would fit in this exact spot, and then people buy me a different shelving unit and it just doesn't fit, and I'm like, great, okay, cool, thank you, I appreciate it, but it's not what I wanted, and I told you what I wanted, but you went and got something different. Or like clothes. Anything with clothes, it's like you ask for this specific shirt and then they go and buy you something else, and it's like, why? What's your worst Christmas gift you ever received?
Oh, bloody hell. What, the worst one? That's brutal, you know.
Why? What's the best one then?
I really like the one I had last year. I got a Lego Ford GC.
I want that, because that's my favourite fucking car.
hang on a minute. I gotta show it to you on camera. No, I was gonna fucking see it. I'll go get it. It's right next to me.
God damn it. I was looking at buying that. That was the thing. I was looking in like a toy store and I was just saw it and I was like, oh, it's on sale as well. And I'm like, it's expensive.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like 70 quid or something like that, isn't it?
I think my girlfriend bought it for me, but she bought it full price when it first came out.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I felt like it's around 70 to £100, I think, in like most stores.
Although I'd say I've also got a Le Mans Porsche.
I don't give a shit about Porsche. I hate Porsches.
Wow, the build is a bit more interesting, I would be honest. It's like a... Yeah,
see, really I'd go like Ford GT, McLaren, and all that stuff, and I'm just like...
I want the McLaren P1, but that's like 400 quid.
Yeah, I know. That Lego is so expensive.
Yeah, Lego is like another level, really.
Probably the PS3 was probably the best gift I've received for Christmas, because that was an unexpected surprise. I wasn't expecting it, and it literally changed the course of like my teenage years, and like got me into like a... Because I would have probably been Xbox. But the thing is, I think what happened was my brother was Xbox.
Yeah.
And so I was always playing on his Xbox. So I think what happened was my dad was just like, well, I think he mistook because it's just like classic parent misunderstanding technology and just buying like the one that's probably cheaper at the time, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, that's both the same.
And it was just
they play the same games.
Oh yeah, they're probably both the same. And it was just like, well, my brother's got one, so I'll buy him the different one so that he can have like a different experience, I guess. I don't know. I don't actually know what my dad's logic was. I don't think I ever asked, because I was like, oh yeah, cool, I get this thing. I was more excited at the time.
Yeah.
And then the worst is probably a shit laptop that was so like, you know, the classic big chunky, because we're growing up in the year of like laptops weren't skinny.
I remember that.
Like, this was a second-hand old laptop that I'd got, and it just didn't work. And it was just like, oh, great, okay. It was just a horrible laptop that I got, and I was just like, okay, cool, yay. I can't do anything on this. So I just never used it.
No.
So it's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Christmas gift giving, I don't know, it's a hard thing to do. Thing is, I can understand your point about money, but I think it breaks down when you also give money, because if you're both giving money, what's the point?
It's just giving. It's just not giving anything. That's why I feel like it's if you give a budget, then you can at least go and buy something within that budget.
Yeah, so that's what we do with my family. Although my budget is kind of expensive, so my girlfriend's 150 budget, and then both my parents are 150 each as well.
Yeah, see, my parents are about 100 each, and I'm about... So it depends. It's if I think of something, I'm just like, yeah, here, give me this. I'm like, whatever.
Most of the time, what I do is I buy them a couple of things that I know they really like, and then I just buy them a bunch of like things that they kind of like a hamper almost, like food things they like or drinks. Because then it's kind of I build out my budget and I got a bunch of things that you like.
Yeah, I don't know. I always just go. I'll buy this and that and get this and whatnot, and I'm always just like with friends, for example. Me and my best friend have basically an agreement that we won't buy anything unless we just see something that the other person would like, and it doesn't matter the budget, because you just then go, okay, we won't buy a thing until the budget's been matched, basically. Yeah. So it's like, okay, you can pay like £200 for something if you want, and then you don't have to buy anything for like 4 or 5 years or something like that, because you've spent a shit ton of money on one present. So it's just like, yeah, okay.
I guess that's kind of the problem for me generally, is that in
society... You have expensive tastes?
No, in society, like, you have this pressure that you have to buy, whereas what you're doing is, I would say, is a lot more desirable. There is no pressure that you have to buy something. It's kind of just... it's like a nice thing. And then if you do get a gift, it's like a nice surprise. And I think that's like a much better way of looking at Christmas. Instead of thinking, like, you have to buy something for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like it just puts so much pressure, and also puts you in financial debt for no reason.
Yeah, just fucking...
Like, for a gift that someone will go, oh yeah, okay, and then maybe put it in a drawer and never use it.
Yeah, it's just kind of wasting money, just burning it.
Yeah, I don't love the whole capitalism. The thing is, Christmas is either religious or capitalism, and I don't like either, really.
Or communist, if like, Santa.
True. I know you want to get your point about Santa being a communist out, Dan. We'll get to it. You can tell us all about how he's a communist.
It's not
and
that
how
deep.
he's... Sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's fine. I feel like Christmas is a weird vibe.
Yeah.
because I feel like it's it's always such a weird, like people get so stressed about it. But it's also meant to be the happiest time of year. But it's
not.
Just gets, it's never been. It's the worst time. It's I don't know. I feel like Australia probably has it the best because their summer is during Christmas. Whereas, like, the rest of the world is just miserable shit blackout weather at, like, 4 p.m. And then...
I think, for me, there's definitely like, some parts of it that are a lot more enjoyable. I guess, for me, come to me as, like, going to Christmas markets and just going to kind of social gatherings, and even Christmas markets, like, doing socially. I think it's just, like, a fun to get out of the house kind of thing, and it's like there's not like massive pressure. You don't have to do it all the time, and I don't know. I kind of like doing those kind of things, and it's kind of good to get some family back together because a lot of my family I don't see.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good time for like I do find like it gets family together. It's like I feel like it's something that forces people to come together, which is a nice thing. It's like, oh yeah, this one big event that everyone should probably turn up to. Because like birthdays, it's kind of like, okay, unless you're like super close family, it's like, okay, we'll do.
I have a big thing about birthdays. Like, I hate celebrating my birthday in the sense of
I am in the same. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like feeling that people have to turn up just for me. Like, people want to hang out with me, like, that's fine, like, whatever. But if you want to do it just because it's my birthday, I'm like, well, then that's just kind of defeats the point.
Oh yeah, like I dread the day that I ever get a surprise birthday party because I'll be like, oh shit, this would be hell because I'm like, who would turn up is what I would be interested, because it would be it would have to be someone close to me to organize it. But I'm also very selective on like social situations, so it's like, how close does someone have to be for them to get invited, and how small or how big would this party be?
Yeah. And
I'm like, ugh, I would dread it. So I don't want a surprise party. I don't think in my life it would just probably end up being miserable for me. Because I also don't do anything on my birthday. I just book off the time from work and just do nothing. And it's the one time of the year, like, I get to do nothing and I don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Like Christmas, I have to feel guilty if I don't meet up with family. Whereas my birthday, I can meet up with my family and then just don't do anything for the rest of the time that I'm off. And it's just like, great, okay. Because I'm a child of divorce, so I have to go 2 different households for Christmas, so it's always been fun to do that.
Thing is, I can now sympathise in that sense of I have to go to 2 different Christmases.
Well,
for different reasons.
Well, yeah, you got 2 different families to visit, but imagine this, Dan. You're in a relationship and your parents are divorced, but your girlfriend's parents are divorced, so you'd have to go to 4 different... That's what my brother's in.
Doesn't help that my girlfriend's birthday is always like 3 days after Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's fucking chaos, honestly. I'm looking forward to January. January should be nice and peaceful. Nothing's going on.
Yeah. Well, my New Year's this year is going to a wedding. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's my family get together. Is going to, like, one side of my family's get together is going to a wedding on New Year's Eve.
What's your favourite item on a Christmas dinner? I know we did a podcast episode last year, but just to recap it.
Oh god. Okay. See, I like sausage meat.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just think it's a good bit of food. I think there's a lot of good... I think Christmas dinner is probably if it's done well, I feel like there's shit Christmas dinners.
Yeah, I feel like home-cooked Christmas dinner, though. That's always usually pretty good. Going out for one is usually quite crap, but, you know... Okay, maybe I'm just fortunate. In my family, I've always had someone who could cook, but...
My dad's wife can cook, but my mum is... Okay. It's not terrible. It's just, like, compare the 2, and I'm like, oh, one's like proper crispy potatoes, one's like proper gravy, proper like cooked turkey, cooked beef, sausages in blankets and all of that, or like the cauliflower cheese, all of those things, just parsnips, carrots, all of that stuff. I'm just like, oh god. And then you just get like a lesser, like slightly lesser quality, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I think for me, I love stuffing. I love stuffing mix.
I hate stuffing.
I love it so much.
I hate it. I just don't like. It's just gross to me. I couldn't eat that.
I love stuffing. It's so good to me. But
I used to...
I only want it crispy though. If it's like the stuffing you get inside the turkey and it's just wet, that stuff is awful. It's diabolical. Fuck it, right? What I want some like a stuffing mix done in like a tray in the oven. It's like thin, so it's like just proper crispy. And then you mix that crispiness with the gravy, mix it together. Like sage and onion stuffing, beautiful.
Nah. I feel it ruins it. What do you think of turkey? Are you a fan of turkey or do you prefer another meat?
I prefer other meat. Okay, for me, any other meat is better than turkey.
Why is turkey the go-to? I want to know the reason.
I wouldn't say it's
I feel like
cheaper,
it was
but
just...
I don't think it is anymore.
It's not. Turkeys are expensive. I feel like they just want to kill a big bird.
I guess
I
that's
feel like
probably
it's just
the reason. It's a big bird. Like a lot of people, you can serve a lot of people from it.
Yeah. I feel like it's just so that they can shove other things into it and go, look at this turducken or whatever.
Yeah.
Where we've shoved a bird into a bird up its own arse.
It doesn't help most people cook sort of birds
So
raw.
dry. I fucking hate how dry turkey is.
Well, it shouldn't be dry though. If you cook it right, it shouldn't be dry.
Yeah, but most people don't know how to fucking cook it.
Because when you cook it, right, you got to kind of cook it well as you normally would. And then you got to take it out normally about maybe 45 minutes before you're serving it. And then when you take it out of the oven, you need to kind of wrap it into cling film or like a dishcloth and put it upside down. Upside down is the key part. Because when you put it upside down, that's when all the juices at the bottom drip into the breast meat. And then it's not dry. But you have to do that. Otherwise, it will be dry.
Oh, god damn it. It was the British who did it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
This is... Look, okay, take this with a grain of salt. This is AI overview. So it could be nonsense. There's two different options I'm seeing right in front of me as well. So apparently it was the royal family switched from traditional Christmas goose to turkey, making it a luxury item that eventually became popularized as a centerpiece of a Christmas feast. This trend continued with later monarchs like whatever. So it was Henry the before after the V. I don't know. Eighth? Is that eighth?
Yeah.
Henry the Eighth. Yeah, so I think Henry the Eighth caused it. Apparently, that's according to AI Overview. I hate that. I don't know why I read that. A lot of farmers also saw it as a cost-effective option to use turkey, as they could use their chickens and cows for production of egg and milk. In 1843, Charles Dickens even wrote about choosing turkey as a main Christmas meat in his world-famous book, A Christmas Carol. So there's a lot of options. No one knows the true meaning of Christmas, like killing a turkey and shoving something up its arse. That's 10 seconds worth of Googling. But yeah, how good are you at wrapping Christmas presents?
I would say I'm actually pretty decent, I'll be honest.
I'm shit. I can't do it. I'm absolute rubbish. I try real hard, and I still fuck it up, and it looks like shit.
So I'm usually pretty good, and I like putting decoration on it as well, like ribbon and like bows.
Oh, no, fuck that. I'll get the little sticky ones that are already pre-done.
But this year I've tried to be a bit more sustainable, mainly because I watched like a Netflix documentary about waste and everything, and it got me thinking that I want to not buy something I know is just going to get thrown in the bin, kind of not really been used. So I've got like paper ribbon now. Because at least then when it gets chucked away, it's not bad for anything really. But yeah, I don't know. I quite like wrapping presents to an extent.
Nice. You're doing all that effort to save the environment, but every AI company is just draining rivers and everything to cool down their systems and just polluting. And
look, there's not you can't change the world by yourself, but you can do little bits.
Yeah, that's how they get you to take responsibility. It's your fault that the Earth's dying because you're not recycling paper, whereas we can get away with polluting the planet.
Well, no, I wouldn't say it's like I'll talk about it in the end of the year wrap up and like what we've watched, but the documentary basically it's more on the producers. It's not on the consumers. Like, manufacturers, people, companies, they need to be held responsible and they need to design a product for waste. They need to not design a product for use. Like everything gets wasted. It doesn't matter what it is, it will get wasted. And that's what it needs,
That's capitalism, baby!
Yeah.
It breaks so you buy a new one.
The thing is, that's fine, but you just need to make sure that when it does break, it can be recycled or not just go into the landfill. Yep. Or if it does break, it's easy to fix, And
yeah, Apple.
Fucking Apple. But anyway,
I think they're finally being forced to do it.
Yes, the EU laws, isn't it? Like you have the right to fix your own products.
Yeah, but
America. I believe the AirPods are the worst thing. Like they're basically impossible. You can't fix them.
Oh yeah. Also, no one wants to have someone else's earphones.
No.
Second, like That's why I always find weird when people put other people's earphones in their ears. I'm like, gross. That's so gross. Why would you ever do that? That's why I'm like, why would you steal AirPods? Because, like, you're not going to use them. And you're not going to be able to resell them, because who wants to buy secondhand AirPods or anything like that? Or, like, any earphone. It's weird.
Yeah. Although apparently the Sony XM3 is, like, one of the best ones in terms of fixing. Like, they're really easy to fix.
That's good to know.
So, yeah. But what are you saying about wrapping presents?
Were you good?
Is that yeah.
Well, because I always end up buying weird-shaped gifts, so it's always just a nightmare.
Weird-shaped is awful, but I've kind of learned now that the easy way of doing it, if you do pre-folds. So, for example, I don't know, let's say one of those boxes of jelly beans, or sorry, jelly babies you get, or the Maynard wine gums. It's kind of got like a squarish box, but it's tapered towards the end. If you pre-fold it beforehand in the right angle, it kind of folds like a square neatly. It's a lot easier to do.
Now, my solution, buy a box or get a box that you already have and just shove it in there and then wrap the box so it's a square.
One year, what I would actually love to do is just wrap a present in like loads of other boxes and then just keep...
Have you seen the ones where people wrap them up as like frying pans and it's for an iPhone or something? Or it's like wrapped as like a bicycle, but it's actually just a pen or something? Like,
yeah, I've seen that.
Like, I'm like, what a waste. Like, I think it's funny, but I'm also like, oh my god, that would be so annoying.
I think it's like a one and done thing. Like, you wouldn't keep doing it. If you do it for every fucking present or every year, that's a bit much. But if you do it once,
yeah,
it's not like...
I feel like...
It's not the end of the world.
Have you turned around on, like, the shit presents as a kid that you were like, oh, like socks and things?
Yeah, I'm like, give me the socks. I don't want to buy them. My money.
See, I'm still not at that stage of my life yet. I'm like... Because everyone I'm talking to nowadays is just like, yeah, I'm so like, oh yeah, just give me socks, give me pants, give me just toiletries or something. I love it. I don't want to spend money on this. They're too expensive.
Yeah, no, that is it.
I'm just like, I kind of get you, but I don't buy clothes that often. So I'm just like, I just wear something like the same thing every time.
I don't buy clothes often because people buy me gifts. Otherwise, well, I don't know.
I'm also too picky. I don't think I could let anyone pick my clothes out for me.
See, I have no style, so I encourage my girlfriend to pick my clothes for me. Because then at least I will have something that's somewhat fashionable.
Well, I have no style, but I'm also just like, I'll just wear a black t-shirt. I don't need like a branded white t-shirt with like... I
hate things that have got massive patterns. So I much prefer like block t-shirts. I do have this. This is like a Nike t-shirt, but that's like it's like a tiny Nike logo on it. And I think it was like cheap. I think it's like
I don't mind like big patterns and things like that. I think patterns are like cool. Like a good design on a shirt is like really nice. I just don't like branded stuff where it costs like a fortune just because it has a brand on it.
No, yeah. I think, like I said, this t-shirt, I don't think it was
especially when it's a plain t-shirt. I'm just like, why the fuck would you pay so much, like £100 for a t-shirt that's got, I don't know, like a Nike logo on it?
One of our friends, I know they paid £50 for just a plain t-shirt.
I couldn't.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And I
will go on Amazon, buy a fucking 10-pack of the same shirt for £12 or something.
Like I say,
I don't give a shit.
I told him my t-shirt was like £5 from Tesco or something, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's because you're cheap." And I'm like, "Well, no, it's just called being wise with my money. I'm not just like spending it on money."
It's also really funny when they stain it or something, and you're like, "Well, yeah, you could just throw that out for like." I know we're talking about waste and being, but like having to throw away a £50 t-shirt because it's stained because you don't want to wear it anymore because it's stained and you think it's going to decrease your value or whatever it is. I just couldn't. I'm like, oh yeah, £10. I'll just chuck it into a charity bin and let some poor child wear it in Africa or whatever. They can rep my old t-shirts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the cost of like actual clothing. It's mental to me.
Yeah, especially like Supreme and all of those things where it's just like the idea of value.
I guess there's like this some brands that may be worth when they spend more money in terms of being good.
I get it in terms of like
slavery or something, because a lot of clothes are made of like slavery. That's why.
That's what. Yeah, I understand that.
But companies like Supreme use slaves and also make to spend.
Oh yeah.
But there's I don't know. There's some like other companies that it costs a bit more money, but at least ethically they're good.
Well, I don't buy from like Primark anymore because I know that they had a massive thing where they were just like horribly treating their workers, like the foreign countries or whatever it was.
Comedies are shit, man.
The only thing that, yeah, well, we don't hold them accountable, and we just let them go off seas.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. About this whole thing...
It's only going to get worse. Like, trust me, it's going to only get worse.
I don't know if it will. I think people are starting to wake up to it.
No, it will.
I think people are
We're
starting
getting a certain president into the...
More people
Yes,
get more
people
aware.
are aware, but what's happening, Dan, is the biggest country in the world has just got a man who's going...
That's
yes.
True. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna tariff everyone, and so...
In the UK, it might be getting better. In the US, it's fucked.
Yeah, well, the rest of the world may... I don't know. We follow America quite closely.
Yeah, but we've got a different parliament.
We've got a
now.
supply route now. Yeah, but...
Yeah, but it's different parliament. Like,
oh yeah, but
the US is more.
There's a certain man that goes, I don't like it when people don't like me, so I'm gonna threaten them with things, and then they either bow down or we just either shoot them or just don't do. So look, we'll see.
It is concerning what's gonna happen next year. Who knows what the fuck's gonna happen?
Oh yeah. Favorite Christmas movies, Dan? Do you have one?
I was asked this question earlier today, and I'll be honest, I don't think I have one. I never really.
Do you sit down and watch Christmas movies? Because I don't.
My girlfriend does, so she likes watching the crap Netflix ones.
Oh, fuck off! No,
Yeah, genuinely.
I could never watch them. I'm just like, ugh. I know Vanessa Kirby's done like a bunch.
Yeah, there's so many on Netflix.
Well, yeah, they're like Hallmark. Do you know? There's the brand in like America, like Hallmark cards or whatever it is, and they just make Christmas movies because it's easy and cheap, and they can just pump them out for like no money and make a fortune back off of them. Just renting them out on networks to be filling your Christmas movie like watch list.
I was gonna say, I swear Netflix kind of puts all of the like money into Christmas films. Like it seemed to be what they make the most of.
Well, yeah, but they don't put money into it. They put like maybe 20 million.
True, Arcane was putting a lot more money. Significant.
That wasn't them paying for it, I don't think. I think
Was it
they
not?
covered some of the. I think they covered some of the cost.
Oh, was it Riot just paying for it?
Yeah, Riot paid for most of it.
Yeah.
I think Netflix either paid them a licensing fee to have it on their platform.
I guess
'Cause they
maybe
would've
it's
shopped
just
it.
kind of advertisement for like League of Legends.
Yeah, it's that, and also it's a fucking incredible show.
No, I mean, like, why they spent so much money on it?
Oh yeah, well it was that, and because they wanted to tell a story.
Yeah.
Like if you ever watch the behind the scenes of that, it's like really passionate. You're like, I also now have the art book, so I have now all of the details of the behind the scenes and things like that I'm going to be reading at some point. Looks like it actually has bits of the script and everything in it, so you can see all the stage directions and everything.
That's pretty
that
cool.
They would have done. And pre-concept of art and all of that. Looks sick as fuck. I want to read it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Christmas movies are really hit or miss. I hate the debate of whether or not Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
It doesn't fucking matter.
No. I maintain that it is a movie set at Christmas. It is not a Christmas movie because I don't even think it released initially at Christmas time. I think it released in like May when it first came out. It's just I think there's a distinction between a movie set at Christmas
I feel
and
like
a movie that's
No Way
about
Home.
Christmas.
No Way Home is more of a Christmas film.
Wait, no way.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
No, that's set at Christmas.
Yeah, but it also came out at Christmas. It came out in December.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes it a Christmas movie. I think it's set. I think it's set within the world of Christmas.
Yeah, but
Like,
what
it's-
makes it a Christmas film?
Like it's about Christmas. It's not Christmas is adjacent.
I don't.
So like the Grinch or something. That's about Christmas because it's all about that.
To be fair, I actually
Whereas
quite like the Illuminations, The Grinch, with Benedict Cumberbatch.
I don't really rate either of them. I think both are. I like Jim Carrey's probably more. I think the Illumination. I just don't like Illumination's art style. I think it's really boring.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like it for the one scene when the car chasers are chasing him around.
I could not even tell you what that is. Did you watch it recently? Because I watched it when
Yeah.
it came out in cinemas.
Yeah, I watched it recently.
That was 2018. So that was so many other better.
Well, I would
movies.
say, Red One is a very good Christmas film. You should definitely watch it.
Yeah, that's like our intro said. We 100% recommend it. I 100% have watched it and absolutely know what happens in that movie and care greatly. And could tell you the plot off the top of my head right now, but I won't because who cares?
To be fair, actually, what's the film?
Okay, so I'm just looking at what came out in 2018 compared to The Grinch 2018, and fuck me, there's so many better movies. Into the Spider-Verse came out, Bad Times at the El Royale, Mission Impossible Fallout, Venom, Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Isle of Dogs. All of these really good movies, and it's just like The Grinch.
I think the trouble with Christmas films is that you kind of can't do anything modern in terms of Christmas films. What's there to do?
Well, to be honest, speaking of Red One, there's Arthur Christmas, which is basically the same looking thing. It's a military take on the Santa Claus. But it's I think rather than, I don't know I haven't watched Red One, so I can't tell you what the plot is, even though I made that big speech about watching it. But the heart of Arthur Christmas is a bit more sincere, at least from my perspective, because the whole point of it is that it's the son of Santa going and trying to deliver one present, whilst the whole military thing is freaking out about how they missed a present, and they're waiting and do we go next year or do we just let this kid not have a present? And it's is the cost effectiveness, whereas this guy just goes, no, every kid deserves a Christmas, and I'm gonna go out and do it. Basically, I mean, that's a good movie. I haven't watched it in ages, but I remember it. That's a good thing about it. It's got Ewan McGregor, I think, as the voice actor. What else other movies there are? I don't know how I feel about all the old classics, whatever they fucking called. I can't remember.
I didn't mind the Santa Claus films.
I've not watched them. I feel like they would annoy me.
I think I just watched them when I was younger, and that was fine. But
yeah, I feel like if you watch them as a child, then you'll probably have a better opinion of them when you're an adult. And
that's kind of just all Christmas is.
Well, yeah, that's everything. Is that's why everyone wishes that everyone says their Christmases were better when they were younger, because it's the magic hasn't died. You don't know. Spoilers: Santa isn't real, but the magic is.
If you had kids in the future, do you think you'd enjoy Christmas more?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think the idea of Christmas is more fun than Christmas. I think for an adult, the joy of Christmas is getting to see a child's eyes light up and enjoy the magic, because it's at that point where they're still innocent enough that they don't see the reality of the world, and you're just like, oh my god, what would I do to go back to that time where I don't have to see what the world really is like, and there's magic still.
And truth be told, I actually kind of get that feeling sometimes, even when buying gifts for an adult. If you buy a gift for someone that you think they really like,
and they don't.
But they do like it, and you see the eyes.
Have you ever had light up?
I've seen people with eyes light up, and they're really happy with something they bought.
Have you ever had someone go, oh, and their eyes dim?
I think that's more
when
me
you give them a gift.
But no, last year I bought my dad a really nice present, a heart that was in zero one, and then I think he got a bit emotional when he opened it. But that was a really nice.
Yeah, I think I think the idea of something personalized that I don't think you need to necessarily spend a huge amount on someone. I think if you're with a partner or something and you give them a gift of here's the first time we did this, or you go and our first Christmas together, we went to this restaurant and we found we had to dip into an alleyway or something, and we got covered in mud, and we were and then you do something personalized to that, or something to remember it, or celebrate it, or whatever. I feel that's probably a good thing. If you do ever have kids, how would you go about the Santa thing? Are you going to tell them straight up? Are you going to do?
I don't know. I feel.
Because I had a good way of doing it. For young kids, if they have younger brothers or younger sisters and stuff like that, or younger. So when the oldest kid basically grows up to the point where maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 or something, where the magic is kind of especially nowadays where the internet can basically go, yeah, Santa ain't real. If they looked it up, is Santa real? I wonder if Google actually has to force searches that it's not real out. Because I imagine Google would be parents would be absolutely pissed if Google's search algorithm came up with the result no, and kids just had that dream crushed. But I think the way it was explained to me was, you basically give the kid the responsibility of trying to continue the magic for the younger generation, so that they don't have they basically go, oh yeah, I'm now an adult, I understand this. I'm now going to try and push like continue the magic for a younger child, so they don't basically go, oh, you were lying to me for all their childhood, and they don't like reject it and then try and spoil it for their younger siblings. It's like, no, you're in on the thing now. You got to help us keep this like for the younger ones. Like, don't spoil it. Keep the magic. Help us out. Tell the tale. All of that. Like, give them because kids want responsibility. Kids don't want to be treated like kids. The kids want to be. So, like, giving them the actual responsibility to keep that going is always a good thing. I think So I don't know how it would work.
Yeah, I guess that's that thing though. Like, how do you reveal it to the first kid, like without breaking them?
I'm just gonna fucking tell them. Yeah, Center real kids. You're fucking shit. It's me. I want the credit. If I'm buying shit, I want the credit.
No, I think I would let them somewhat figure out themselves. And as soon as they start answering questions, because a lot of kids, I think they do that when they get a bit older. They start thinking like, hang on a moment, this is possible.
Well, yeah, like the logical side of a kid's brain starts kicking in and going, how the fuck does Santa go around the world in like a day when we have to take a plane and it takes us like 14 hours or something to get to one place?
Yeah, and I think once they start asking like more questions like that, that's the kind of moment you go, okay, I'm gonna be real with you. This is kind of how it works.
It's like the Tooth Fairy. You just stop giving them.
And I think I would explain it as like a nice, instead of saying Santa's not real, I think I would say it as Santa is more of an ideology of gift giving. That anyone
Santa is a religion that is a cult, and we are all worshippers of it. And whilst we don't actually believe in it, we've got to keep the lie alive so that kids will believe it, so that we can keep capitalism alive.
No, I feel like saying like the idea of like, no, Santa's like all of us, like it's just a gift giving, like being kindness, and the magic is the magic of Christmas, and that's what
it's about family and being together, and the idea of being together and all of that.
So Santa and Christmas and magic is real, just not of that kind.
It's just a different. It's the red jacketed man with the hat is just the embodiment of what it is.
Yeah, that's it, and I think that's kind of the best way of probably explaining it without breaking the child, because then he can still think hopefully that like, oh no, it's like still real. Then maybe as they get older, maybe they still enjoy it because they still think of that as, oh
yeah, I'm gonna go about that with my kids, but I'm also gonna go any other kids. I'm just gonna fucking Santa ain't real, get fucked, boom. I don't give a shit about other people's kids. I'm gonna fucking ruin that magic if they piss me off. Like if I hate their dad, I'm gonna fucking go up to their kid and just go, fucking Santa ain't real, bitch. It's your dad. He's cheating on your wife, mum as well.
Yeah, Mrs. Claus.
He's fucking Mrs. Claus. Yeah.
Mrs. Claus is the stripper down the road.
Yeah. If a kid pissed me off, I would just tell them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the idea, like, because I don't actually remember how long it was before I stopped believing in Santa. Like I feel like it just happened one year, and I was just like, oh yeah, I think my parents just probably went, yeah, we've got you gifts.
So for me, I think I stopped believing it quite early on, about like maybe 8 or 9 or something. But I didn't want to hurt my parents, because my parents still thought I believed in it, and I could see the magic in their eyes as a child. So I kind of just...
No, that's what you want to crush, Dan. As a kid, you want to crush the joy in your parents' eyes. That's what kids are for.
But I feel like it's kind of weird. It's like a weird situation to be in. I guess maybe a bit more mature in a sense.
What? Where you're like, oh yeah, my parents want to keep going because they want to enjoy that childlike wonder, and you're just like, yeah, I'm too old for this shit. Just tell me that you fucking bore me.
I'm like, I don't want to ruin it for them. Like they still love it all, and I'm like, oh, I can't ruin it for them. They love it.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing about my mum. She loves Christmas and she loves doing it all, and she loves getting gifts and everything like that. And I'm just there going, yeah, just okay. I feel like I'm such a dickhead when it comes to like Christmas, because I'm just like, I don't care. Like, just if you want to get me something, just get me something. I'll tell you what I want. Just don't try and like bring this magic, because I'm just done with it. I don't have anything to like celebrate really for it, but I don't know. That's probably me. Like, I want to be like that cheerful, jolly person, but I'm just not that. I'm just so miserable. Not miserable in like a sense that I'm sad or anything. It's just more like I don't take it as anything happy, or like I'm just like, I can't be arsed. It's too much effort to put in.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like that's long enough for this, because we've got another podcast to record before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And so, thank you for listening. Thank you for we hope you have a very happy holidays. Not just at Christmas. There are other ones. I know people get very upset when you say happy holidays, but fuck you. There are other things going on in the world. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this little ramble is a preamble of what's going to happen in the new year. And we shall be seeing you then. Check out our end of year wrap up as well next week.
Yeah.
And enjoy.
Goodbye.
Tell us your favorite Christmas stories.
Oh, a
in
Merry
the
Christmas,
comments
of
down.
course. And a Happy New Year
Yeah.
if you don't see the end of the year wrap up, but you whatever.
Well done. Good job. Bye, everyone.
Bye.